Sylvester Stallone is not just a name on a movie poster. He is a living testament to endurance. For nearly 50 years, his presence in Hollywood has symbolized perseverance, grit, and an unyielding refusal to be defeated, no matter the obstacles. Characters like Rocky Balboa and John Rambo became worldwide icons, but their significance extends beyond entertainment. They reflect Stallone's own life, a life forged in adversity marked by rejection, humiliation, and financial hardship. His story is not one of instant fame or effortless achievement. It is a chronicle of survival. The triumphs we see on screen are mirrored by struggles off-screen, proving that true strength is not perfection, but persistence in the face of pain. Stallone's journey teaches that enduring hardship, embracing vulnerability, and standing tall in the midst of despair are the real markers of victory. His life is a portrait of resilience and human determination. A birth marked by struggle. Stallone's life began with adversity even before he could form words. Born on July 6, 1946 in New York City, his delivery was complicated by forceps, which severed a facial nerve and caused permanent paralysis on the left side of his face. This left him with a drooping lip, slurred speech, and an asymmetrical expression that would become his signature. While many children learn to speak and smile freely, Stallone confronted difference and rejection from the start. His appearance marked him as other in the eyes of the world, shaping both how he was treated and how he saw himself. That early struggle created a foundation of humiliation, which he later transformed into determination. The challenges of infancy planted a seed of resilience. Stallone would grow into someone who understood that the world could be cruel, but he could still choose to rise above it, turning perceived flaws into defining strengths that would shape his art and life. Childhood without shelter home offered little solace. Stallone's father, Frank Stallone Sr., was volatile and distant, while his mother, Jackie, often focused on her own ambitions rather than nurturing her son. Their turbulent marriage ended in divorce when Stallone was just 5, leaving him shuffled between households and boarding schools. He often felt unwanted, like an inconvenience rather than a child. Emotional neglect became a constant in his early life, cultivating insecurities that would follow him well into adulthood. These experiences instilled both self-doubt and determination, creating a paradoxical drive to succeed while carrying the haunting weight of rejection. Despite these hardships, Stallone developed an inner resolve. The lack of shelter and parental stability became lessons in endurance, teaching him that life could be harsh and unforgiving, but survival required persistence. His early childhood experiences, painful as they were, would become the silent fuel behind his relentless pursuit of success and authenticity in both personal and professional life. Mockery and isolation at school offered no refuge either. Children ridiculed Stallone for his slurred speech and uneven smile, while teachers often misjudged his intellect based on his speech impairment. Labeled difficult and slow, Stallone experienced frustration and anger from a young age. Fighting became his means of expression when words failed, marking the beginning of a lifelong struggle to assert himself in a world that often misunderstood him. By his teenage years, he had been expelled from multiple schools, and at 16 he was sent to Switzerland for further education. The experience deepened his sense of isolation, leading to depression and a feeling of invisibility. Yet even in these darkest moments, a spark of defiance remained. Stallone began to recognize that the world would not always accept him, and if he hoped to survive, he would first have to accept himself. This early understanding of self-reliance would later become central to his personal and professional identity. Poverty and rock bottom. The early 1970s were a period of extreme hardship. Stallone struggled to make ends meet, taking menial jobs to survive. He cleaned lion cages at the Central Park Zoo, worked as a theatre usher, and at times had no choice but to sleep in a bus station. Hunger and financial instability pushed him to desperate measures, including a small role in an adult film, a choice he later regretted but saw as necessary for survival. Heartbreak compounded his struggles. He once sold his beloved dog, Butkus, for $50 simply to buy food. These experiences could have broken him, yet Stallone endured. His hardships taught him that survival often demands sacrifice and humility. Even when stripped of dignity, his resolve remained intact. Through poverty and despair, he developed the grit and persistence that would become the backbone of his career, proving that the foundation of true success is often built in moments of profound struggle. Inspiration strikes. The birth of Rocky. Everything changed in March 1975, when Stallone witnessed a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Wepner, an underdog with little chance, went 15 rounds against the champion, losing but demonstrating extraordinary endurance. Stallone saw himself in Wepner's resilience and was inspired to write the screenplay for Rocky over 3 days. Every insult, rejection, and moment of despair he had endured flowed into the script. The story of a small-time boxer, given one chance to rise, mirrored Stallone's own life, making the screenplay deeply personal. Rocky was more than a movie idea. It was a vessel of hope, a testament to perseverance, and a reflection of Stallone's determination to redefine his life. For the first time, he could channel all his pain into creation, proving that adversity could become art, and that survival was not merely living, but transforming struggle into opportunity. Reclaiming the fighter within years later, Stallone returned to his defining characters, proving that survival is ongoing. In 2006, he wrote and directed Rocky Balboa, portraying an aging fighter confronting doubt, mortality, and the passage of time. Audiences connected with the honesty and humility of the story, recognizing Stallone's personal reflection in the character. He also revived Rambo in grittier installments, demonstrating that endurance is not limited to youth or physical prowess. These later works were not merely career moves, they were affirmations of persistence, a reminder that life continues despite setbacks. Stallone's comebacks highlight the importance of reinvention, resilience, and embracing change while staying true to oneself. Through these projects, he demonstrated that survival is about more than enduring life's blows. It is about rising repeatedly, refusing to be diminished by the world's attempts to define or erase you. The unthinkable loss. In 2012, Stallone faced profound personal tragedy when his eldest son, Sage, died at 36 from heart disease. No achievement or accolade could protect him from such grief, and he withdrew from the public eye to process the loss privately. The pain reshaped him, deepening his understanding of vulnerability, resilience, and human fragility. His subsequent performances, including in Creed, carried the weight of lived experience, reflecting authenticity born of sorrow. Stallone's enduring grief reinforced that survival is not about avoiding pain, but continuing to live and create despite it. Even the most private, devastating losses became part of his journey, shaping him both as a man and an artist. His story emphasizes that strength is measured not by avoidance of suffering, but by the courage to face life fully, even when the heart has been broken. Endurance as legacy today, Stallone continues to act, write, and mentor, embracing new platforms and audiences, Projects like Tulsa King showcase his willingness to evolve while staying true to the principles that have guided him for decades. His legacy is not wealth, fame, or awards. It is persistence. From a paralyzed infant dismissed as flawed to an international icon, Stallone's life embodies survival, determination, and refusal to quit. Every setback, humiliation, and loss became another reason to rise. His journey serves as a blueprint for resilience, showing that true strength is forged in adversity. Stallone's story reminds us that life may knock us down repeatedly, but courage lies in the refusal to remain down, in the choice to persist, and in the creation of meaning from struggle. Conclusion. The real victory, Sylvester Stallone's story transcends cinema. Rocky Balboa may be fictional, but the spirit behind him is unmistakably real. Stallone faced physical impairment, emotional neglect, professional rejection, public humiliation, and profound personal loss. Yet he stood each time life knocked him down, embodying the principle that falling is inevitable, but staying down is optional. His triumph is not measured in box office numbers, trophies, or awards, but in endurance and persistence. The greatest role of his life was not Rocky or Rambo. It was himself, a man who refused to surrender, who transformed suffering into strength, and who showed the world that true victory comes from living fully, embracing challenges and rising again and again, no matter how many times life tries to keep you down. Stallone's legacy is the triumph of survival itself,